Hello and welcome to Apocalypse Builds Episode 2. And I've decided I do want to have this slightly bigger, but for now it can work as is. I'm just going to extend on to the base of it later. And this is going to just be the start of the hospital. So it's going to be it might be somewhat of a small hospital for the most part, but I'm still just deciding on how it should look. And I think it should be about here. Let's start over here. Apparently people like driving their motorcycles today. And there we go. Yeah, it's going to be somewhat of a small building. I also was looking at a furniture mod, but it was having an issue. The main issue was that it was conflicting with itself. I don't know how it can do that. It was like block freezer is conflicting with block freezer. So yeah, it's kind of a pointless thing to have if it just conflicts with itself. So I don't know what the issue there was, but yeah, this is really annoying by hand. Now it reminds me of how I started, it just reminds me so much of how I used to do things, and it's annoying. I don't want too much power because it will blow things up. Okay, I'm gonna risk doing a little bit of work here, and it won't be too cataclysmic if it blows up. I think I deleted the wrong thing I wanted to keep. I don't care about the shotgun personally. Over here. And over here. And does this work? Nope, wrong one. Of course I get the wrong one again, but who cares? There. And now this should, in theory, work. Yep. Now I need bricks. And glass, but I don't, actually I do need glass. And does this still work? Just right-clicking. Yep, it still works. That's good. It saves me a little bit of trouble. Yeah, I might actually go get extra, whatchamacallit, additional pipes, that's what it was. Because, yeah, as you can see, I could be doing this like 10 times faster, and that's annoying me. This shows how needed the thermal expansion stuff was. And for some reason it stopped breaking blocks for some reason. Oops. Didn't mean that. But yeah, I'm expecting this to have roughly, 30-40 episodes before I actually start my first test build. Or build test, I guess. It's probably going to be less than that. Probably roughly down to 10 to 20. Yeah. It's starting to annoy me. But overall, for the most part, just thermal expansion was probably it probably still is my favorite building mod, or at least power source for the building mod. And I don't. Yes, you can actually do that. I was thinking you'd probably do that. Now it's been confirmed. Might have an idea for that at one point. I know now most of the liquids from Forge can actually be placed in the world without too much issue. Oh, it still is an issue that some of them don't actually have source blocks, but I mean, that's kind of the good and bad thing. And would this actually be big enough to You know, this might be big enough to actually just be the hospital itself. I'm still thinking about it. But for now, I do want to have this at least as a base for the hospital. I'm gonna also have some skyscrapers. And I guess, yeah, I think I will get the additional pipes, because I can at least transport energy like that. Though I heard at one point it was having issues transporting the correct amount of energy. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting machines. or at least not so much as machines as the infrastructure of the actual city. It will be completely actually usable as a Minecraft. It'll be completely functional for the most part. I'm going to have power stations. I'm going to have water supply. I'm even going to have a gas line, which won't be very useful. It's just going to be there for fun. Yeah, I do think that's probably going to be big enough. If not, I'm just going to add a little bit more onto here, so it kind of has an L shape. But for the most part, I think that should be good enough for a hospital. Let's see. I want to have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Is it connecting? Yes, it does. Just need to make sure. And there we go. That's kind of why I have the set of 3, because that makes these intersection areas very nice for this type of building. Okay, I'm gonna at least need it out to here, so yeah, I don't think I'm going to need it that much bigger. This will work. And I was thinking about having the flans mod vehicles. Then I decided against it just because really I don't need vehicles in this. And I think vehicles would just overcomplicate it because unfortunately gun customization guns can one-shot all vehicles, even doing only 1 damage. Even if it does no damage, it still one-shots them. And fists apparently one-shot them as well, so not very helpful. Yes, you have a tank, but I have a fist. Oh, I can destroy it in 1 hit. It just gets a little bit ridiculous. And once it's broken, well then you have 1 less vehicle, and you just have a bunch of random parts that have no use. Let's think. Well, I have decided that I do want to have this area be the skyscraper. I'm going to have a full... The thing is, should I do that? I have an idea that's going to be slightly different. And put this... That should be fine. Nothing like having a sidewalk. Semi-realistic to a point. And this map itself may actually just be ported over to a modern build, which is going to be something similar to basically a real-life experience for people to mess around on as well. Only it's not going to look as beaten up and run down as what this map is going to look like. I'll fix it up and make it look more civilized. And the setting for this this build is about 6 months after a infectious virus breaks loose from a containment area, which will be part of this map. The actual lab that is supposedly to let loose this virus will be part of the map that's going to be kind of off in the distance, as well as the boundaries I'm going to have are going to be pretty limited for the most part, because I want this to actually have kind of a free roam feel. So I'm going to keep the walls and boundaries usually past some forested area or just really out of the way. I don't want it to be even visible from anywhere that's actually been built in. So I want to have it a really good feel for actually being able to explore. And having a large map tends to make things more interesting when you have multiple players, because there's going to be a lot of places to hide. There we go. And there's also, as well as I've said, there's going to be forested areas, but there's actually going to be a forest, which is going to be based near... Okay, it's going to be on the outskirts of this town, for the most part. There's also going to be farmland, there's going to be... I really want to have like a river as well, but I've done rivers before, and it takes a long time without a bit of help. And mostly that can't even be done with these buildcraft machines. So that pretty much has to be done by hand, and getting it even 3 blocks deep is pretty difficult. Though I will say it looks pretty nice afterwards. And I remember my last Apocalypse series, which didn't go so well because people were just not too interested in this, but I really don't care about this series just because it's mostly just for updates or just me using it for time. And it's fun to me, so people don't have to watch if they don't like it. Simple as that. It's starting to look nice on the map even, but once it's actually fully built, it's going to be looking very nice. I'm even going for... Oh, really, I'm debating on how high I should make these skyscrapers, because I can make them up to 50 floors pretty easily. In fact, what is it? I have 256 blocks as a limit. Let's see. Yeah, about that. I can actually put it about 32 stories for the most part, and that's with full electricity and everything. But I can probably almost double that if I really wanted to. So 32 stories, that's still pretty significant. What I wanted here was... Actually, it's this one I wanted. One. Bring it all the way over here. About here should be fine. And now I just want to get somewhat of a symmetrical build, but I don't really care for the most part, so yeah. That works. Yep. So this is going to be my first skyscraper, and it's going to be pretty much the largest one for the most part. So this is going to be kind of the base for any other one I decide I want to make. And almost done for this outline. Yeah, I think that's going to work nicely for this area. Actually. Okay, I have to think about this for a second because I might have actually messed up here, because I do want to have power lines running through here, and I don't know if I can get them. Okay, I need everything at least 4 blocks away from this road, so I need to go out 2. So that's my limit. I have to actually revert this all back to stone or dirt, and this is pretty much my limit. Is it? Yeah, that's it. Oh well, not too much of an issue. And for the most part, the power itself is going to be disabled for most of the city, but certain areas will be affected by people actually reactivating the generators. And I'm actually debating if I would just want to have the generators shut off at a switch that I control in my little GM area, which I'll be making at one point, which will mostly house the power supply to run these fillers much more easily, and pretty much anything else that I deem necessary, such as storage of specific materials, and possibly just me affecting the loot tables. Here. I'm gonna have this one specifically, maybe 30 stories high. And all technicality, I could just remove the limit to, I could double the limit of a chunk size if I really wanted to. But that'd be kind of an issue if I were to do that. And I think 256 blocks is plenty to actually work with. But I want the city to be able to be seen from really far away. Okay, I have 2 outlined bases for buildings. I also want to have, let's see. Yeah, that should work for the most part. I'm going to have 3 more buildings on this row, and I'm probably going to have this turning at an intersection here, like a T intersection, right about there. At this point, I'm just winging it. I don't really care for the most part. It's fun. 3. And it's not going to be centered the way I want it, though. So I have to bring it over 2. And there we go. And this goes into a parking lot for this building. This building seems a little bit small, actually, for being a large enterprise building. 2. I can bring it out a little bit more, and then I'm going to probably make it a little bit longer or wider. think out to here should be fine. Oops. Getting a little too fast with my clicking. And my aim is apparently getting bad. But yeah, so far I'm going to have a bunch of, well actually, another thing I want to talk about is that I'm going to have a base on here that's actually going to be basically for the military units. And as for creatures and stuff that's going to be inside this, in the server, there's basically just going to be your standard zombie, which is basically, in a sense, they're better than the normal vanilla zombie. They're actually going to have skins that match what they are. And they're going to drop loot based on what they are. As well as some zombies are going to have, like the marine zombie. That's going to definitely be a lot harder to kill than just a normal one. Because that bulletproof outfit is going to be a lot harder to smash through than just your normal handgun, your normal survivor zombie. As well as there's going to be survivors in the world. Most of the survivors will be on like a military base that can actually protect the people to an extent. I'm going to try to avoid having special zombies for the most part. Though at some point I'm probably going to make a few. Specifically for like boss zombies for fun. Because why not? And actually, I guess I can just really stick to normal zombies for the most part. Because really, in a sense, you can actually think of the zombies as kind of a hive mind. They're really difficult to actually deal with, even in large groups of survivors, because a horde of zombies is really easy to accumulate with this custom NPCs mod. It's very easy to accumulate. Even with vanilla Minecraft, you wait, what, 30-40 seconds after hitting one zombie and killing it, and there will be roughly 5-10 things after you. They're zombies. And their aggro range is pretty far, but with custom NPCs you can have it so they can only see you within so many blocks, and if you're hidden from sight, they will actually move to the last location that they saw you. Which I find is probably my favorite aspect of the custom NPCs, because, I mean, who really doesn't love having an army of zombies going to the last area that they saw you? And that's pretty interesting to actually have to deal with. But it allows you some more tactic, because you can actually move around, go to one side of the building, aggro a bunch of zombies, run around the building, and you can actually loot afterwards. It's good distraction, and I don't know if they can switch targets easily or quickly. I'm guessing they probably could. So if you duck around the, if you run around the corner, they might just aggro onto the next person they see. what do I want with this? And that's the difference between concrete and stone. It's just slightly lighter and it's more even in color. Oh, too many. There we go, and there you go. The base of the building of a really large skyscraper. But yeah, till next time, if you like what you're watching, subscribe. If not, oh well. See you next time, and have a good day.